Well, hello everybody, Leigh Dickey here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Yo Nostalgia. This week, I want to review a Perfect Strangers and Head of the Class promo from about mid to late 1980s, sometime between 1986 and 1988. It is a catchy funk rap style promo promoting both shows during their time on ABC. But before we get into the promo review, the commercial review, whatever you want to call it, which I will link in the description. I will link the commercial promo in the description within this episode, the body of this episode. Before we get into that, I want to tell you where you can find Yo Nostalgia. Of course, new episodes of Yo Nostalgia are released every other Tuesday on my official website, LeighTDickey.com, YouTube under Leigh Dickey TV, and your favorite podcast app and player of choice. So iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. Please do comment, like, share, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave reviews too if you would. If you want to follow along and get in touch with me, Leigh Dickey, and Yo Nostalgia, please do follow us on social media at Yo Nostalgia Show. Send comments, questions, topic requests, and anything else to yonostalgiashow@gmail.com. All that information is listed in the show notes and description down below. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or my official website, LeighTDickey.com, or listening to the audio format on your favorite podcast app and player of choice. All right, now that all the housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into this promo review with Perfect Strangers and Head of the Class from sometime in the mid to late 1980s, right here, right now on Yo Nostalgia. Alright, so yes, this Perfect Strangers and Head of the Class promo from the mid to late 1980s. And the reason I say it's mid to late 1980s, I can't really nail down when this promo actually aired and what season they were actually promoting, because in say the fall of 1986, the second season of Perfect Strangers aired on Wednesday nights. They moved originally from Tuesday, which is where their first season was in the beginning of 1986, because they were picked up, I think, for a 6 or 8 episode run. And then that was the end of their first season, and then they got renewed season 2. That was the fall of 86. They were moved from Tuesday to Wednesday nights, and Head of the Class premiered that fall. So within like the second, when the season 2 of Perfect Strangers aired, then that's when the first season and Head of the Class kind of premiered and had its own 5 or 6 season run, however long it lasted. But, the reason I say that mid to late 80s is I'm not sure when it aired, because it's a fun, funky rap style promo promoting both shows, but I'm just not sure when it aired because it is a very generic type promo, and when I say mid to late 80s, from, say, the fall of 86 through late winter, early spring of 1988, so March of 1988, is when Perfect Strangers moved from the Wednesday time slot to anchor ABC's TGIF lineup. So they moved to Friday nights in spring, late winter of 88, so March of 88. So I'm not sure when exactly this aired originally, but it is a really cool, really catchy promo just promoting both shows, and they've got like a real funk vibe, but a real fun, goofy vibe as well. Like you've got, say, Howard Hessman from Head of the Class, Robin Givens, Dan Schneider, Dan Frischman, and it's fun, And then you've got the cast of Perfect Strangers: Melanie Wilson, Rebecca Arthur, Bronson Pinchot, Mark Lynn Baker, and it does a fantastic job. I'm not sure if when they shot this, both Showcast did like a full version of this promo by themselves and they just spliced it together. But whether or not if they did that, it's just fun. It's funky and it's, everybody's in character and it makes you laugh. It makes you feel good. You've got Bronson Pinchot who delivers the "Don't be ridiculous" line in the promo. It's just, I think, Mark Lynn Baker, "Problems? Don't be ridiculous." That is delivered, and it's delivered so well in the promo. And then you've got the head of the class cast with the female cast members. "We want to change the world," and then you just see the male cast members who are on head of the class. "We want to change the world" from the female cast, and then like it cuts to the male cast going, "or a job that pays," and then they promote that both shows are airing on Wednesday nights on ABC. And back in those days, say like between maybe the time Perfect Strangers and Who's the Boss were on the air, so between like 1984 and say 1995-ish, like ABC had some real big hits. They had Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Perfect Strangers, Head of the Class, because that was a hit. It lasted 5 or 6 seasons. Full House, Family Matters, and like, to be fair, Family Matters is a spin-off of Perfect Strangers, and you have Jo Marie Payton in this promo as well on the Perfect Strangers side of things. And then obviously Family Matters got spun off from Perfect Strangers in 1989 and had a 9-season run. Jo Marie Payton was there for 8.5 of those years. She left about halfway through season 9 because I guess like her contract was up and was just like, you know what, I'm done. The show's nearly over and I'm just ready to move on to other things. And that's her prerogative. And I think she did a wonderful job in the Harriet Winslow role. But of course, you've got Mark Lynn Baker, Bronson Pinchot, who, as far as I know, got the Balki Bartokomous role because of his role as Serge in the Beverly Hills Cop movie, the first one, because he did come back for Beverly Hills Cop 3 in 1993, I think it was. And he was great in Beverly Hills Cop. So even though it's a small part, like, you want the cappuccino? You want it with a lemon twist? I remember that line that he delivered with Judge Reinhold. He's like, "Sure, if it's not too much trouble." And then there's a cut to Bronson Pinchot as Serge, and he's just like, "Of course, don't be stupid." And I can see why the producers, Miller Boyett or Laura Martellivision, however he got the role as Balki Bartokomous, I can see why Bronson Pinchot got the role of Balki on Perfect Strangers, and it was just fantastic. And of course, you can't go wrong with Howard Hessman, Dan Schneider, Robin Givens, or any of the cast from Head of the Class. That was great as well. And the fact that those two, ABC had some massive, massive hits back in the day. Like I said, Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Perfect Strangers, Head of the Class, Family Matters, and so much more. Of course, these shows did move around. Like I said, Perfect Strangers did move to anchor the TGIF lineup on ABC in 1988, probably, like I said, March of 88, so like late winter, early spring, and then eventually they ended the series run on the I Love Saturday Night block of shows. So Saturday nights, and Saturday night for TV is not necessarily like the best night. It's probably like one of the worst. I don't know, just because, nobody's home on Saturday nights and like, what are you going to watch? But back in those days, I think that you still had a shot at having an audience because, I don't know, to me, TV from those days was a lot more wholesome than what you see now. And, this promo is a a perfect example of it, because it's just fun. It's catchy. Hey there, hi there, and then you just cut between cast members and like a full ensemble shot of the both casts, and it's just so much fun. And I you've got Rebecca Arthur, Melanie Wilson, who are the respective love interests on Perfect Strangers for Bronson Pinchot and Mark Lynn Baker. It's a fun promo. It's catchy, and you can tell that both casts during this time period, they were at the height of the 80s. From what I gather, is a fun time. I was born in the 80s, just right at the very end, and I'm I remember these shows to a certain extent. Like, I was 2 years old when Head of the Class was off the air. When it ended its run, I was about 4 years old when Perfect Strangers went off the air and ended its run. I do realize that, after 5 years, Head of the Class was canceled, and then, Perfect Strangers ended its run in the summer of '93 after 8 seasons and 150 episodes. But still, this promo is a lot of fun, and I will link it below so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But if you want like that fun, funky, like clean, it's a clean promo, and it makes you laugh. It delivers what, I guess, you get what you pay for, and like it delivers what you want it to. It delivers a good, old-fashioned, like just a good memory of a good time. A good time in your lives if you were around in the 80s or even before that, when you were, when these shows were on the air. It was just, it's fun, it's funky, and, it made me feel good, and I wasn't around in like 86, anywhere between 86 and 88. So like I just love it because it's good, it's fun, it's clean. Yes, it's a generic selling point type promo, but they dress it up with rap, and it just delivers the punch. It delivers what you wanted, what you want as a producer, what you want as a television studio, and as an audience, it pulls you in, right? And that's what you want, and that's what both of these shows, Head of the Class and Perfect Strangers, did. They pulled the audience in, and they held their audiences and their fans for as long as they could, and it was just this perfect selling promo. Like, what do you want to sell? You want to sell the fact that Perfect Strangers and Head of the Class at the time are on Wednesday nights. And that's exactly what they did, and they set out to sell both shows, and that's exactly what happened. Perfect Strangers had an 8-season run, Head of the Class had a 5-season run, and this was, in my opinion, the perfect promo. It had great music. Whoever wrote the promo, like in terms of like the lyrics and stuff, great job. We want to change the world or a job that pays. Head of the Class, we got straight A's. We want to change the world or a job that pays. And, friends like us, problems don't be ridiculous. It's great. I will link the promo below so you guys can watch it for yourselves. I love the promo, and I've seen more of Perfect Strangers than I have of Head of the Class, but I could tell that if I saw more of Head of the Class, I'd love that show too. I'm a big fan of Perfect Strangers, and, now we are so happy we do the Dance of Joy. I know that, like, my Balky Bartokomous impressions aren't the greatest, believe me. I'm well aware of that, okay? But still, I mean, Perfect Strangers makes me laugh still to this day. Head of the Class, I'm sure if I saw more of it, I would laugh my ass off just as much as much as I did with Perfect Strangers, as much as I still do, going through clips of the show, and it makes me laugh, and, that's what I look for in TV. I want to be entertained, I want to be laughing. I'm more of a comedy guy. I love comedy and I love to laugh, and I'm sure a lot of people did back in those days because both of these shows had lengthy runs, and that's what you want out of your shows. That's what any network invests money into any sort of program for, is lengthy runs and lengthy, like, just mountains upon mountains of returns. And that's what they got with both shows. But that's just my opinion on the promo. It's good, old-fashioned, clean, funky, fun, and I will link it below so you guys can watch the promo for yourselves and make a judgment call for yourselves whether or not you are watching this on YouTube under Leigh Dickey TV or my official website, LeighTDickey.com, or listening to the audio form on your favorite podcast app or player of choice, as well as on my official website, LeighTDickey.com. But this wraps up another episode of Yo Nostalgia. Of course, I have been your host, Leigh Dickey. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media at YONOSTALGIASHOW. Send your comments, questions, topic requests, and anything else to YONOSTALGIASHOW@gmail.com. If there is something you want me to cover or you have suggestions for the show, please do send emails to YONOSTALGIASHOW@gmail.com or on social media at YONOSTALGIASHOW. Alright, I've been Leigh Dickey. This has been another episode of Yo Nostalgia. We will see you guys in 2 weeks for a brand new episode. But thanks again for watching, listening, subscribing, commenting, and all that good stuff. Please do rate us 5 stars and leave us reviews too. If you would, please and thank you. But I've been Leigh Dickey. This has been another episode of Yo Nostalgia, and I am signing off. Peace!